Hello everyone, welcome to English with Manjiri. In this video, we will learn what is the difference between independent and dependent clause. Before this, let's briefly know what is a clause. So clause is a group of words that contains subject and predicate. For example, the sun rises in the east. Here, the sun is the subject and rises in the east is predicate. In the next example, they played cricket. They is the subject, played cricket is the predicate. If you want to know more about this topic, subject and predicate, you can watch our video on this topic, subject and predicate. The link is given in the description box. There are two types of clauses, independent and dependent clause. Independent clause is also known as the main clause. It has a subject and verb. It expresses a complete thought. It can stand alone as a sentence. For example, he came late. Here, he is the subject and came is the verb. This example expresses a complete thought and it can stand alone as a sentence, and that is why this is independent clause or main clause. Now let's see what is dependent clause. Dependent clause is also known as subordinate clause. It has subject and verb, but it does not express a complete thought. It means that it cannot stand alone as a sentence. For example, because he missed the bus. Here, this clause has subject he and verb missed, but it does not express a complete thought. But if we say he came late because he missed the bus, then you can get the complete meaning of this sentence. It means that because he missed the bus, this dependent clause depends on the independent clause, he came late. Now it should be noted that subordinate clauses often begin with subordinating conjunctions, which are words that link dependent clauses to independent clauses. These words such as for, since, because, therefore, hence, while, when, before, after, whenever, and that. In short, we can say the clause which starts with such linking words is a subordinate clause or dependent clause. Here are a few examples. You can pause the video, solve them, and then cross-check your answers. First example, I knew that he wanted to go home. Here, I knew is independent clause and that he wanted to go home is dependent clause. In the next example, the boy was crying because he was hungry. Here, the boy was crying is independent clause and because he was hungry is dependent clause. In the next example, the patient died before the doctor came. Here, the patient died is independent clause. Before the doctor came is dependent or subordinate clause. Let's see a few more examples. The train had left before I reached the station. Here, the train had left is independent or main clause. Before I reached the station is dependent or subordinate clause. In the next example, he was absent because he was ill. Here, he was absent is independent or main clause. Because he was ill is dependent or subordinate clause. In the last example, Soha told me that she knew the recipe of cake. Here, Soha told me is independent clause, and that she knew the recipe of cake is dependent or subordinate clause. I hope you have enjoyed learning independent and dependent clauses. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe to our channel, like and share the video with your friends and family. We will be back with a new topic. Till then, stay tuned.